your host.
You ready? Okay. I made you co-host, so you're good. And
Good morning, Ty.
good morning. Let's see, we got Verna and Emily and Mina. Hi, Mina. Pat Moore, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Just to let you know, Deborah, I'm ready to do Shibashi with right and left in the same session. I thought that might make you happy. Hi, Pat. I worked out the timing so it fits quite well.
Oh, okay.
Let's see who else joins us. My goodness. Don't give them too long till we kick off. I recognize every one of you folks. You guys are just becoming habit with us, aren't you? That's a good habit to have.
I was going to say, it's addictive.
It really is. And the more you do it, the more enjoyable it gets. I'm speaking from my perspective. The more I do it, the more enjoyable and the more meditative it gets. And I'm big on meditating. And it's like, hey, not only can I meditate, but I can move while I do it. I think that's cool. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Karen. Loretta. Some more's popping in. Hi, Ben. Well, they're not here yet. Hi,
Good morning,
Ben.
Ty.
Hi, Loretta.
Hi, Ty. It's Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Hi, Carol. So nice to be recognizing people. Okay, I think we have enough for a quorum. Let me share some slides with you, and we'll kick this off and get moving. Max said in chat that we got the live streaming going. We've got the recording going. So everything's going technology-wise. Now, if any of you have any problems during the session and you have technical questions, Max is here for you. Just reach out in chat. And uh-oh, I'm not at the first. Let's go to the first. Okay, Tai Chi, a gentle moving meditation practice. We do Sung style, and if that doesn't mean anything to you, please come to my Tai Chi, Why It's Great for Seniors, and I'll explain Sung style and give you a little bit of history of where the heck it came from. We're practicing parts 1 and 2 in the beginner classes. This week I started doing part 2. Don't stress if you haven't done part 1. They stand totally independently of each other, and then when you know both of them, you put them together. So you can start with part 2. It's not a problem. I just want to put an ID on each segment. My name is Ty. I live in Florida in the U.S., near Orlando, near Disney World. I use that as a claim to fame. Hey, I live near Disney World. Actually, I live closer to Universal. So my education is in biology and psychology and computer science, and I had quite a varied career working for the DoD and the USDA and the federal government, Social Security for a while, and eventually I started working at medical centers in IT management, and I left there and went into consulting, and I traveled around working with medical centers in the U.S., Canada, and the UK. Almost got to go to South Africa. Almost. And I'm trained in, and I practice Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Tai Chi, and Therapeutic Qigong. Some of you recognize that word Kundalini, and I've mentioned the fact that I'd love to do a Kundalini class here. Well, guess what? One's on the schedule. So if you know Kundalini and you want to take it, please look for that on the schedule. It's listed as chair yoga, but I teach it for chair and mat simultaneously. So if you want the chair, it'll be directed that way. If you want Kundalini on the mat, it'll be directed that way. So come try out my Kundalini yoga. And if you've never tried Kundalini, then you've probably been doing Hatha yoga, which is the most prominent yoga in the West, in North America especially. So come give Kundalini a try. It's a therapeutic yoga that I swear is designed for seniors. It's good for all ages, whether you're 10 or 110. So come give it a try. Today we're working with Tai Chi, and I'm here to guide you through the class using the Sung style Tai Chi forms. And my role is to teach you the mechanics and help you learn the practice, and teach you some of the concepts and the principles. And then over time, teaching you these mechanics and principles, I hope to help you expand so that you eventually move from just the mechanics of movement, gee, I move my hand here, I move my foot there, and you start exploring it at a deeper level that's more meditative, more flowing, more, in my opinion, more enjoyable. But don't stress that you got to learn the mechanics, and it will take you a while to learn the mechanics. We have to walk before we run. We're on Get Setup today, getsetup.io. Great organization that helps us learn from each other. We all have skills, and it's so great that we have an opportunity to share them with each other. So, because we can learn from each other so much. Now, ideally, I can see you during the class so that I can see how you're responding to my words, and that helps me know what to say next. But if you don't want your camera on, that's acceptable. Leave it off, and maybe at a future class you'll be more comfortable to turn it on. But I really appreciate the ones who leave it on, because you help me. You basically guide the class for me. Now, between classes, you can get the recording of the class. Just email help@getsetup.io, and they will set you up. I think there's a mention in the chat from Max about that too. If you didn't make it in the registration day because the class did book up, but you're joining us by live stream, that's great. I'm glad there is that alternative, but hopefully in the future you'll make it into the registration, get booked, and join us in a class. Now, Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products. No advertising is going on here. No specific services are promoted. So no matter what I mention, it's just me stating it, not Get Set Up. Now, here's the important screen. Please check with your doctor. This is a movement practice. Some would consider it an exercise. I only consider it an exercise because you do feel it afterwards, but it's not like running a marathon. But before doing anything that involves movement, a new practice of movement, you need to talk to your doctor, especially if you have any health conditions or you're taking any medications. Your doctor knows you. He knows your limits. Pay attention to your doctor and follow that recommendation first. And if you know you shouldn't be doing something, don't do it. Your doctor rules are number one. The last person you listen to about what you do is me. But I'm going to give you a lot of guidance, but I don't know what you shouldn't be doing. So please honor the rules that your doctor has set. A quick rundown of the objectives of Tai Chi is developing an integration of mind and body. I talk a lot about breath along with the movement. You will probably get tired of hearing me talk about please breathe. Improve balance. Very important to me because I have balance issues due to nerve damage in my feet. The way you do that is you deal with your postural alignment and your body awareness. And as a result, it prevents falls. Decrease the effects of stress. We bring about a calm of mind with Tai Chi. Slow down. Life, you should slow down. Tai Chi, you should slow down. So take that lesson back to life, and all these lessons back to life with you. We want to enjoy and experience our life in the moment so that we don't rush by our life. Actually be there and enjoy it. Overall, be healthier, because Tai Chi will help the body to work more efficiently. Gentle movement always does. Just find the gentle movement practice that you enjoy. Part one, we've been practicing the previous few weeks. I call it the single whip sequence. But today we're talking part two. We're going to practice brush the knee sequence. And that's going to involve 6 forms. Brush the knee to the left, play the lute, parry and punch, block and close, push the mountain, open and close. We're going to go through all of those, presumably time will permit, and we're going to practice them, and then hopefully you can take them between sessions and practice them on your own. But if you choose not to, no problem. Just come back and practice them with us in class. We have several important guidelines for Tai Chi. I always try to bring one up for mentioning or discussion, and today I'm going to talk just briefly about integrated movement. In Tai Chi, your head, your neck, your trunk, and your pelvis rotate as a single column. We're not doing twisting like you do in yoga, so you keep that movement integrated. All those parts of your body, the upper torso, basically moves as one single column, aligned over a stable base in the feet. Stability means a lot in Tai Chi. We don't do any precarious movements. We do very careful, planned steps. And part of that is keeping that trunk integrated and moving as that one column. Now, all the arm and hand movements are initiated from that upright rotation of this column. And your eye motion follows the hand. So you're turning that trunk with the hand. When the hand's moving and you're following it, the trunk is going along. No twisting of the spine in this class. Come to my yoga class for that. So let's practice some Tai Chi. Whether you're standing or seated, or you're standing with a chair handy for support, use whatever serves you best. All I recommend is don't have wheels on that chair. Sometimes I've actually done yoga and Tai Chi just with a wall nearby that I could touch if I need it for balance. Wear comfortable clothes. I prefer loose fitting. Indoor shoes. You can even buy inexpensive Tai Chi shoes. They're available. I bought mine online, but you might be able to find them at a sporting goods store. I checked all the ones in my area and they weren't there. I had to go online, but they're very inexpensive. And I recommend water be accessible. With that being said, let me do some switching here. We're going to stop this share, and I'm going to start some music, because what's Tai Chi without music? Let me show you what we're going to be doing today. Well, first of all, bring your left hand together. Bring the fingers together for friendship. Tuck your thumb in for humility. Bring that right hand up in a fist for strength and power. And then a slight bow out of respect. Just a nice greeting to say hello and welcome. Let me show you what we're practicing today. This is the the brush the knee left sequence. Let me see if I can get a little more light on my feet. Yeah, that helps a little. You just have to put up some glare on my t-shirt. Ah, much better. I'm going to do that again just to show you. In brush the knee, we start with the form brush the knee. Then we play the lute. Then we parry and parry. Punch. Close or block and close. Push the mountain, and we come back to center for an open and a close. If you're new to the group, then let's talk open and close for just a minute. An open and close is you bring the hands to heart center palms are facing each other and slightly curved like you're holding a ball. And you just separate them for an open and bring them back together for a close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, and sink in your knees just a little. We always want to keep soft knees. So, let's find our Wuji, and for you new folks, that just means get a nice stable standing posture with your feet basically hips width apart. Shoulders over hips. Shoulders soft in your arms, kind of draped down. Soft knees. I go into much more detail on Wuji if you attend the intro class, why Tai Chi is great for seniors. I'm going to detail it in that moving forward, not so much in the beginner class. So just find your Wuji, a standing comfortable posture, standing tall and straight. Bring your hands up to heart center for an open and a close. For a single, darn it, I keep wanting to do single. For brush the knee, lift your right ankle and pivot on your toe, bring that ankle out to the side just a little. Just a little. Bring the right hand forward, staring at your palm. Turn to your left, turning the foot with it. Bring that palm towards your face. Put your weight on your left foot and push the hand out over the knee. Let's do that again. So find your Wuji, open and close, sinking into the knees. Bring the right hand forward, looking at your palm. Pivot on your right toe and bring that right ankle out. Your weight now goes to the right foot. Turn to the left. Let your left foot adjust for that turn. And as you bring the weight down on that left foot, bring that right hand in and push it out over that left knee. Now your weight's on the left foot. So you've shifted the weight from the right foot to the left foot. There's that integrated movement. The torso and the head turns all together, following the movement of the hand as it goes out over the knee, and your weight goes to the left foot, keeping a nice straight posture. Let's do that again. So, open and close. Turn your right heel out just a little. Bring the right palm out in front of you. The left hand is starting to drift down at this point as I step to the left. The hand comes toward the face and then turns out over the left knee, and my weight goes to the left foot. I'm going to turn my back to you so you can follow it from that direction. Actually, let me start with the open and close, and I'll reverse. So open and close. Brush the knee. The right foot, the heel comes up and out just a little. The right palm goes forward and you're looking at it. Turn the left foot and step out to the left as the right palm comes in toward the face, pushes out over the left knee, and your weight's on the left foot. Do that again. Find your Wuji. Bring your hands up to heart center. Open and close. Right hand goes forward. Left hand starts to drift down. Pivot on that right toe a little bit. Step out to the left. Hand brushes past the left knee. Now, you still keep a nice good posture. You don't lean into this. That it's very prone. We are prone to want to lean into it, but you don't want to do that. That's not your nice straight posture. That's your posture and that's your balance. Let's talk the feet a little bit. Come back to your Wuji. I'm going to turn that music down just a little. I feel like I'm yelling. There. Hopefully you guys can still hear that. I'm going to face you for this one. So find your Wuji and then bring your hands up to heart center. The pivot on the right toe is literally just a very small pivot. You bring the heel up and just a light pivot out. You're just setting yourself up for that turn. Right hand comes out and the left hand starts drifting down. Make a 90-degree turn to the left and that left foot adjusts. So the left foot now is pointing to my side. The right hand comes in and pushes out over the left knee. And I don't mean 100%. It pushes maybe 70% out. Elbow is still soft. Now at this point, my right toe is a little awkward. So lift that right foot and correct it so that that toe is pointing the same way as the left foot. Let's do that again. Open and close. Brush the knee. Pivot on that right toe. Left hand drifts down as the right hand goes forward. Step out to the left. The right hand comes in and pushes out over the left knee. Your weight's going to the left foot. You're coming up on your right toe. Lift the foot and adjust and come back on that right foot. Most of these movements tend to be a rocking movement. So if you're going forward one time, you're probably coming back. So we tend to rock in these motions using the feet as our rockers. That's not the right term, but our elements of rocking. So find your Wuji, hands at heart center. Open and close. Brush the knee. Rotate on that right toe. Bring the right hand out. Step out to your left. Your hand comes in toward your face and your weight goes to your left foot as the hand goes out. You come up on your right toe and then you adjust that right foot and come back on it. Now my weight's on my right foot. That right there, the brush the knee, is the most complicated form in this sequence. So once you've got that one, the others are all easy. This is the difficult. Like in single whip, the complicated one was waving arms in the clouds. Well, in this one, brush the knee is the most complicated in the brush the knee sequence. So if you're new to this, it's not all that complicated. The rest of it's pretty easy. So let's go through brush the knee again. Open, close. Weight goes to the right foot, right hand goes out front. Turn the torso 90 degrees to the left. Right hand comes in, comes out over the left knee. Weight's on the left foot, come up on your right toe. Adjust that right foot and come back on your right foot. As you come back on your right foot, lift your left toe. That's more of that rocking. So I was on my left foot, I'd raised up on my right toe, and now I'm coming back on my right foot and I'm raising my left toe. Love that rocking. Let's do that again and keep that rocking in there. Open and close. Pivot on the right toe, right hand comes out front. Turn your left foot 90 degrees. Bring your weight down on the left foot as the hand comes in and brushes over the left knee. Up on the right toe. Correct that footing and come back on the right foot as you raise your left toe. I like that sensation. This takes us into playing the lute. Now, playing the lute is actually a very simple motion. Your hands are basically at the end of brush the knee, your hands are sort of in this position, and you're just going to take the left hand and go up and the right hand and go down. So you pretend there's strings there on a lute and you're just brushing both hands. Excuse me. Brushing both hands on the lute. One's going up and one's going down. Facing each other left or right. So let's do that in the sequence. Open and close. Brush the knee, pivot the right foot out, right hand goes forward, step out to the left. As your weight comes down on the left foot, the hand comes in and goes out over the left knee. Come up on your right toe, correct that right foot, and bring your weight down on that foot. Now, as you're coming back on the right foot and the left toe is coming up, play the lute. The left hand comes up and the right hand comes down for play the lute. See how it fit in? We're basically like this. You turn the right hand to your left and play the lute. Let's try that again. Whew, got a big class today. Hi, everybody that I haven't said hello to. A lot of you came later. Good to see you. Today we're doing the brush the knee sequence. If this is totally new to you, hang in there. We're getting to the easy stuff. So open and close. Brush the knee. The right hand comes out in front of you. Pivot the right foot on the right toe and take the heel out a little bit. Your weight goes to the right foot. Turn your torso to the left, and the left foot comes down. The right hand is coming in towards your face, and as it pushes out over your left knee, your weight goes to the left foot. Come up on your right toe at this point. Your weight's on the left foot, you're up on your right toe, so correct that foot so that it points the same way as the left foot. Turn the right hand to the left, come back on that right foot with your weight, and play the lute. Left hand goes up, and the right hand comes down. Nice. Everybody's got it. Cool. I'm going to turn my back to you, and we're going to go through it that way. You make sure I've got it. Yeah, I'm in this. Okay. Open. Close. Brush the knee. It's called brush the knee left because we're going to pivot on the right toe. Bring the right hand forward. Left hand sort of drapes down to the side. Step out to the left, touching the heel and then the toe. Bringing your weight on the left foot as the hand comes in and pushes out over the left knee. Now your weight is on the left foot. You're keeping a nice straight posture and you're pushing forward. You're up on that right toe, so correct it. Now both toes are pointing that way. You take the right hand and turn the palm toward the other palm and come back on the right foot and play the lute. Now you're back on the right foot and your left toe is in the air. That was that rocking motion I talked about. See how I'm just rocking on it. One toe comes up and then the heel comes up. We do a lot of this in Shibashi too. So I push the hand out over my left knee. I'm up on the right ankle or right heel on my toe, and I come back, play the lute, and my left toe comes up. Okay. We're doing really good today. After play the lute comes parry, parry. We do two parries. Now, in play the lute, the palms face each other. So, they're facing left and right. Now, with play the lute, after you finish, in parry, after you finish the play the lute, you take that upper hand and you turn it palm down. Take the lower hand and turn it palm up. And you basically do the same motion, but this time one hand's going under and the other one's going over. So we play the lute, flip the hands, and parry. For some reason this gets quite confusing the first time you do it, but it's play the lute side by side, turn the palms, and parry. And the lower hand sort of kind of swoops up a little. So it feels graceful once you get used to doing it. So that's all a parry is one hand passing the other with the palms facing up and down. So, play the lute, parry. Now we're going to do a second parry, and the way we do it is we flip the hands the other way and parry. Let me go through that again. So play the lute side by side. Left hand goes palm down, right hand's palm up, and you parry. Now your right hand is higher than the left and the palm is facing the ceiling, so turn it over. Take that lower hand and turn it up and parry. It's just the reverse. The second parry is the reverse. So play the lute. Left hand is high. Turn left hand face down, right hand face up or palm up, and parry the right under the left. That's it. Now turn that upper hand palm down to the floor. Take the other one, palm up, and parry it under that one. So it's really very simple once you get used to doing it. It's just you got to get the muscle movement in your mind. But it's play the lute, parry, parry. Yeah. We'll be doing it a lot, believe me. It'll get drummed into your brain eventually. Plus, when you're at home in between classes and you're practicing 5 or 8 hours a day, man, you'll get it like that. I'm kidding. If you practice 5 minutes, I would be thrilled. If you could do 5 minutes a day, you will reach such great benefits from this. Seriously. But I will warn you, it's addictive. If you start out doing 5 minutes a day, in a couple of weeks, you might be doing 10 or 15. So just get ready. It may happen. So, find your Wuji. Now your Wuji is standing tall. Tuck your chin. Tuck your tailbone. Soften your knees. Let your shoulders drape with your hands just hanging down. It's a very comfortable, soft posture. And then you breathe. You breathe here into the abdomen. And just relax into the form. There's times at the grocery store I'll just go into this and stand and breathe to kill time while I'm waiting on the cashier. And then all of a sudden you realize, I'm not killing time. I'm actually enjoying this. Breathing and just noticing the sensations in my body, how the knees are soft, how the air is flowing to my tummy and then my chest. All of a sudden I'm okay waiting on the clerk, and I'm kind of annoyed when they're ready for me. It's like, leave me alone. I'm doing my Wuji. So bring your hands up to heart center. Open, standing tall. Exhale, close, soften in the knees. Brush the knee. Raise that right heel and turn it out. Just pivot on the toe. The right hand comes in front of you and you're looking at the back of your palm. Your weight's on your right foot now. So turn that left foot out. You're going to step onto the left foot as that hand comes toward your face. As it pushes out over the left knee, you bring the weight to that left foot. Rising up on your right heel, just touching the toe. And then you lift the toe and you correct that foot so it's pointing the same way as the left. Come back on that foot as you play the lute. Left hand goes up, right hand comes down, and the left toe rises in the air. Now we're going to parry. For parry, you take the upper hand and point it face down, lower hand face up. As you parry, you bring the weight to the left foot. Now the hands have swapped position. So take a step with that back foot, raise it, and take a small step. And as it comes down, flip the hands. The upper hand goes palm down, the lower hand goes palm up, and you parry. Your weight went to the forward foot, and you're rising on the toe on the back foot. Again, we do that little rocking. So let's do that again. I'm going to do it with my back to you. Find your Wuji with your hands at your heart center. Relax the body, soften the knees. Open and close. Brush the knee. Pivot on your right toe, turning that heel out. The right hand goes in front and you're looking at the palm. The left hand sort of drifts down. As you turn to the left and step out, the right palm is coming toward your face, and then it pushes out over the left knee. Your weight is on the left knee. Come up on your right toe and correct that foot. As you come back on the right foot, play the lute. The hands pass each other side by side and the left toe comes up in the air. We're going to parry. Turn that upper hand down. Turn the lower hand face up. As you bring your weight on the foot to the forward foot, the left at this point for me, parry under. The lower hand parries under the upper. Weight's on my left foot. I'm going to step out with my right. I'm going to flip those hands where the upper hand faces down, the lower hand faces up, and I parry again. Now my weight's on the other foot. It's on my right foot. It's on your forward foot. The back foot, you've come up on the toe. So I want to watch you guys this time, so I'm going to face you. So find your wuji. Now, if any of you who are new to wuji, if you need more than ankles width, feel free to grab another inch or two for stability. That's far more important than just keeping to the ankles width. I mean the hips width. Open and close. Brush the knee. Right hand comes forward as the right toe pivots the right heel out. Turn to the left. The right hand comes in and comes out over the left knee as your weight goes to the left foot. Come up on your right toe and correct that foot, and we're going to play the lute. As you come back on the right foot, that left hand is moving up, and your left toe is coming up in the air. As you bring that left toe back down into a solid foot step, you parry the right hand under the left, bringing the weight to the left foot. Now I'm up on my right toe, which means I'm ready to take a nice safe step with the right foot. Flip the hands and do another parry. Nice. So we did brush the knee, play the lute, parry, and parry. Now we do something called punch. And let me show you that. I'm going to do the whole sequence. Brush the knee, play the lute, parry, parry. We take another step, make fist, and the back hand comes over the forward hand at the wrist. So you basically touch the wrist as a punch. It's not really a punch like that. It's a punch more like that, and you do it soft and slowly. So yeah, that's it. So let's get to that, and we'll do it a couple of times. Open and close. Brush the knee. Weight's on my right foot, stepping out to my left. Weight's on my left foot, up on my right toe. I'm bringing my weight back on the right foot as I play the lute. Left toe is in the air. Bring down my weight on the left foot as I parry. Take a step with my right foot and I parry the other way. Take a step with the left foot. Bring the back hand a little further back and bring it in with a fist to punch. That's it. It's just kind of a little circle punch, and your weight's ending up on that forward foot. We're really taking steps in this direction. We take multiple steps as we parry, parry, punch. Each time shifting the weight safely from one foot to the other and moving our arms in the same direction. All the time keeping that nice integrated torso. So, find your wuji, soften your knees, soften the shoulders, soften your gaze. And if you don't know what that means, softening your gaze is almost like giving up just a little bit of the focus in your eyes. We have terms called soften gaze, where you just kind of soften your eyes and your outlook. And then we have something called the inner smile, where you're smiling, but it's not with your lips. You're basically smiling with your eyes. So you soften your gaze and you assume an inner smile, serenely, hands at the heart center, and you open and you close. Brush the knee left. Weight goes to your right foot. Your right hand comes into the face as the left foot steps out to the side. Put your weight back on the right foot as you play the lute. Take a step to the left foot, yeah, as you parry and as you parry. Take another step and punch. Now your weight's on that forward foot. You just finished your punch. We're going to take the weight back put it to the back foot, which for me is the right foot, and you just come back with the hands open as though you're withdrawing. The left toe comes up in the air. Then you push the weight back on the left foot for push the mountain. So you're kind of pushing upward to the mountain. So let's do that again. I'm going to do it with my back to you. Open, close, brush the knee left, weight to the right foot, step out to the left, play the lute with the weight coming to the right foot, parry as you come forward on the left foot, parry as you step to the right foot, punch as you come to the left foot. Now here, pull back or block, weight's on the right foot, your left toe comes up. Push the mountain. You go down a little and up a little, and you're coming up on that right toe. These are the parts I find very, very fun because they just flow together once you get used to them. We need to close off, push the mountain, and that's the entire sequence, and we can practice the whole thing then. Actually, let me put myself back into push the mountain. Okay, in push the mountain, your weight's on the left foot and you're up on your right toe. The close from this is not difficult, but it's a little confusing. You're going to pivot. You're up on that right toe. You're going to pivot on the right toe as you turn your torso. So I'm turning my torso, pivoting on that right toe till I'm forward, and then bringing my weight down on the right foot. At the same time, I'm starting to pivot on my left heel, and I'm back where I started. So you pivot on the right toe and the left heel for an open and a close. So let's do the sequence, and then when we get to that point, I'll go very, very slowly. Open, close, brush the knee, step out to the left, play the lute, parry, parry, punch, block or draw back, push the mountain. Now, push the mountain, I come up on my right toe, so I'm going to take that, the heel's already in the air, I'm just going to pivot on the right toe, pivot on the left heel, bring my hands back to heart center, and I'm open and closed. If your feet aren't somewhere reasonable, then you were taking too big of steps. How's that? If your feet are like all of a sudden like this, you were taking too big of steps as you were walking away. So, because you want them to be reasonably close together so that when you pivot, they don't have to be perfect, but they should be reasonably close to where you started. At least in the same direction and reasonably close together. So, let's do that again. I'm going to do it with my back to you. Open and close. Brush the knee. Weight on my right foot. Left toe comes up. And I'm going to parry. I'm taking a step and I'm going to parry. Take a step and I'm going to punch. Now let's slow down. After the punch, the weight comes back on the right foot as you draw back or you block. My left foot, the toe comes in the air. Push the mountain. I'm coming up on my right toe. Now I'm going to pivot on my right toe, pivot on my left heel, and I'm back for an open and close. Wonderful. We got time to run through it a few times, so let's do that. So open and close, brush the knee left, step out to the right, take a little step to the left, the right hand goes out over the left knee, come up on the right foot, correct the right foot, play the lute as the left toe comes up, parry right hand under left as you take that step, parry left under right as you take that step, punch as you take the next step, draw back or block as your left toe comes in the air, push the mountain. You're up on the right toe, so you pivot there, pivot on the left heel, and you open and close. Wonderful. Let me do it again with my back to you. I'll keep going back and forth. One time forward, one time back. So, open and close. Brush the knee left. Right hand goes forward. Take a 90-degree step to the left. The right hand floats out over the left knee. Correct that right foot and come back on it as you play the lute. Parry. Parry the left under the right. Punch the right over the left. Your weight's on the left foot. Draw back. Block. Push the mountain. Come up on your right toe. Pivot. Pivot the left heel. And open and close. We'll come back to our starting point, find our Wuji. Let's just take a nice big breath here together. Just inhale big into the belly, and when the belly's full, inhale all the way into the chest. So rise up and then push it out. Now go into your Wuji. And notice how different it feels after a big, deep breath. The body gets so stimulated that your Wuji, my hands started tingling. Bring your hands up to heart center for your open and close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Brush the knee left. Step out to the left. Up on the right toe, back on the right foot. Play the lute. Parry. Parry. Step with the next step, one more step and punch. Draw back and close. Push the mountain. Pivot on your right toe, pivot on your left heel. Open and close. Wonderful. Now just stand there for a moment. Bring your hands together in the open and close. But this is, we're not calling it an open close right now. We're calling it an energy ball. So I want you just to imagine that between your hands is this beautiful flowing energy ball. Just imagine it. Maybe you can visualize it in your mind's eye. Maybe it flows in the same direction. Maybe it swirls. Maybe it's a bright yellow or a forest green or a deep silver, or maybe it's multicolored. But notice how when you breathe, the swirling energy flows faster. Or maybe it doesn't for you. It does for me, but that's just the way I am. Maybe for you it doesn't move faster. Maybe it moves deeper when you inhale. And then when you exhale, it changes again. For me, it slows. Maybe for you, it lightens. Maybe the ball enlarges. Maybe you start to notice your hands tingling as the energy ball is moving past your flesh. Or maybe your hands feel warmer. Now pulse the hands a little bit. Just move them a little apart and back together. Not a big space, just a little space, as though you're toying with the energy. Stretching it, contracting it. Maybe you move it around, swirling it with your hands, rotating it. Maybe you stretch it in a different direction. And maybe you don't feel it at all. That's fine too. It's not whether you feel it or not, it's just the fact that you're reaching to feel. That's the exercise, it's reaching to feel things. And whatever you feel is perfect for you. Nice inhale as you stretch out the hands in that pulse. And close it. Some people pulse faster, and they do it with a little waving hand. There's no wrong way to move. Now release your arms down, and if you did have your eyes closed, please open them and let's come seated. think that was a pretty good session. I felt it was good. Let's see. Okay, let's just summarize for a minute. First of all, we did the second sequence in Sung Style 30. I'm going to call it Sung Style 30 because ultimately there are 30 forms that we're going to learn. They'll end up being a part 3 eventually. All of it is a slow, mindful movement practice because that's what Tai Chi is. It's not a martial art. If you want the martial arts, there's things called Kung Fu and Bagua. And they're quite aggressive, where Tai Chi is more meditative. The class time, it's tough to get meditative because I've got to stay talking to you constantly, and it's hard to meditate when you listen to me talk. So consider the class time more about learning the mechanics. We're expressing the forms, learning the forms and following, and starting to build up the sequence in your mind so you can practice outside of class. You're not required to practice outside of class. I've had people who were with me for a year and never did anything between classes. They just came to class because they enjoyed practicing in class. And that's fine. But if you can spend even 3 minutes or 5 minutes a day practicing 1 or 2 of the forms between classes, you'll start building that brain-body connection faster. And you will stop worrying about the mechanics. You'll start just flowing without thinking, which I honestly will tell you the hardest part of me teaching in class is coming up with words to describe what I'm doing because I can do it without thinking about it because I've been doing it for years. But I have to stop myself and say, what am I doing and how can I tell this to the people? Which is sometimes why I call a hand a foot. That's my excuse now. That's my caveat. That's my excuse for screwing up words. If you can, put on some soft music when you practice at home. Any soft, easy listening music, even if it's classical, which I love to practice the classical, or nature sounds. If you're a member of Spotify, just search for something that says Tai Chi. Just anything you find relaxing. If silence is your relaxation, go for it. I'm just talking to you from my perspective that I like the soft music. Thanks for coming today. We had a pretty good class. I mean, 25 people showed up. That is wonderful. It's like on a Saturday, I was kind of worried. I thought, am I going to be in class alone? Everybody else is out grocery shopping. But I sometimes forget we're worldwide. So some of you are coming in from much different time zones than, for me, 11:30 a.m. Whatever time zone it is, I'm just glad you're here and sharing this with me because, believe me, it would be no fun. Well, it is fun doing it by myself, but it's not fun teaching it by myself. So I'm really glad you're here. If you've got any positive experiences with Get Set Up, we would love to hear about them. A story, experience, something colorful, or just something mundane that you want to share. Put it on social media because no matter what we have to say, people are interested. So share it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and let people know that, hey, I'm involved in Get Set Up and this is what you can do with it. And if you just want to send your story or script to Liz, she'll take care of that. She'll put it in her blog. Liz, L-I-Z, at getsetup.io. She'd love to hear from you. We all would. Now, some other classes you might want to consider would include Qigong. Qigong is the basis for Tai Chi. In the order of things, first there was Qigong, which is sort of like Chinese yoga. And then somebody decided, hey, I'm going to turn this into Tai Chi. Kind of like yoga was turned into various types of flow yoga. Different concept because Tai Chi has defined what the flow is. Flow yoga is whatever the teacher wants to do. But in the Tai Chi sequence, we go beyond that because then the next level is Kung Fu, which is martial arts. And then Bagua, which is even more aggressive martial arts than Kung Fu. So you have Qigong, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and Bagua. So give Qigong a try because some of those forms you learn with Ellen might remind you of some of the things you're doing in Tai Chi. Plus, you'll just get a little bit more knowledge about the basic forms if you take Qigong. and then you come explore connecting them with me. Slow flow yoga is just a flowing style of yoga postures that you might want to try out. And my next classes includes, hey, come back to the Tai Chi for beginners again, because the more often you come back, the more you get to practice and learn forms, and eventually we're going to be putting them all together. And then my newest class, which only started recently, is Tai Chi Shibashi, which is 18 beneficial movements, or 18 movements for health. They're therapeutic movements that you hardly even move your feet. It's mainly upper body. There's a little bit of foot movement. But we move everything in the body in a Tai Chi class in a gentle way. It's the most gentle way to do exercise I've ever seen in my life. And usually you feel extremely good afterwards. If you don't, we need to chat and see maybe what's going wrong, because Tai Chi makes you feel well. Now, my newest class is coming up in about a week, and it's called, I think the official name is Kundalini Chair Yoga, but don't let that throw you off if you want to do it on the mat. The way I teach Kundalini Yoga is for chair and mat. So whether you're practicing in a chair, practicing on the mat, or if I've got people in my classes who switch back and forth. So however you want to do it, I'm going to direct the class that way. Though it would help if you join the class at the first of class, if you want to mention to me that you're going to be doing it from the mat. That might trigger in my mind that not everybody's in a chair. So, but come give it a try. Kundalini is a therapeutic style of yoga, quite different from the yoga most people do in North America, which is based on Hatha yoga. It grew parallel to Hatha in a different part of India, and was built to make us be healthier as we grow older, work our glands, work our organs, strengthen our nervous system. So it really does have therapeutic focus where it's trying to take. It's not just done for exercise. It's great for meditation, though I'm not sure we'll be doing a lot of meditation in our classes, but maybe I'll work one in every once in a while. There's a couple that are just so much fun to do that it's worth spending the time in a class every once in a while to do it. So come join me in Kundalini Yoga. I've only got one a week scheduled, but I bet if you guys will book it up, they'll give me another 2 or 3. And class notes. After class, the process is always to send you notes about the class, and I'll do that within just a few minutes of the class ending. And there will be some recommended classes in there. There'll be links to them that you might want to try. And seriously, if you've never tried one of these classes, you might want to link to it and just see what it's about. I did one of the screencasting classes the other day because I did not know what screencasting was. So I took the class to find out. A lady does games that she plays on Zoom, and I went to one of those and had a blast. So give these won't necessarily be the ones on each set of notes, but whatever you see there, consider going to one of them and checking it out. But please give feedback. This little orange button here, it'll look this is on computer, but it'll look similar on your phone. We thrive on your feedback because we want to know what you're thinking. You'll get this little square over on the right, and you can rate your session or rate your guide, or both, 1 to 5 stars. It's going to default to 4, so if you just say done, you're hitting 4 stars. But if you'll just go up there and click that 5th star, that means a lot to me. And if you want to put in a comment, that would be great. Or if you just have an idea. I think yesterday I was using the concept, if you want a class in underwater basket weaving, please recommend it. Here's a good place to say I want that class, or I want to learn how to sing barbershop quartet. Because the powers that be look at these, and if there's that's what happened with Tai Chi. Multiple people were asking for it, so they went hunting for a Tai Chi teacher. And when I turned in my resume to teach yoga, they said, "You've got Tai Chi on your resume. Would you teach Tai Chi?" So they actually go looking for what you ask for. And if you want more classes, if you want more Tai Chi classes or more Tai Chi Shibashi, more Kundalini, ask for it, because they will do their best to accommodate. They're growing like crazy, and let that growth serve you. Let it give you what you want, what you need, whatever you want to try. Arnita, I see you're saying that the movement bothers your knees. Why don't you take it. I'd hate for you to give up my class, but do it in a chair for a while and don't do any knee movement. Just work on the upper body. You'll start building those same pathways and learning the forms. And when you feel like standing up, go easy on the knees. Do not go too soft in them. And then maybe do half the class standing and half seated. Approach it carefully. I'd rather you do that than giving up. Even if you did the whole class in a chair, it's great to learn the forms from a chair. But thank you for the comment. I understand, and you're not alone. I have one knee is quite a bit of problem. Thank you, Pat. Enjoy your weekend too. Let's see. Yeah, Mina, come. I think you've already been in Shibashi. Yeah, I remember you from Shibashi. Thank you, Verna. Thank you, Emily. We got a UK person. Actually, we have several because I know Mina's UK. Okay, let me finish these slides before I forget. The Get Set Up community, and it is quite the community. Would love to have you get more involved. Spread the word. You can't spread the word more enough. I mean, we want everybody here. And if you've got an interest in something that's not covered in an interest group, consider volunteering to lead an interest group yourself. It's not hard. You don't have to do anything fancy. You just start the session and introduce it and then let the conversation go. Attend an interest group and you'll see what I mean. And as I said a minute ago, suggest a class you'd like to see. And we partner with corporations and agencies, assisted care, senior living, government, community. If you're associated to any of those, please send us the contact information. We'll reach out to them to see if we can work with them. And of course, request a session recording so that you can try this between classes. You don't have to wait on me. You can practice between sessions. Especially if you want to make it a little lighter maybe and softer between class to help build. We want you to build up. We don't want you to hurt things like your knees, but we'd like to see you building them. And of course, send any new ideas to help@getsetup.io. And with that being said, no time for questions. But if anybody does have a quick question, I'll be glad to try to answer it. I'm just so appreciative that you all showed up today. We have another class tomorrow for beginners, and there's a Shibashi class, I think, for tomorrow. So if you're free at those times, come join me. Until then, I'm going to say take care of yourself, because remember, you can't take care of your loved ones unless you take care of yourself first. See you soon. Bye-bye. You know this one? Anybody know this one? This is I love you in sign language for the deaf. Yeah, I see a head shaking, yeah. So this is always a good one on Zoom. It's good. I love you. Because they use it for more than just love. It's also, I'm just glad to see you. I appreciate you. I care about you. So it means a great, and I've been told that. I used to live around and spend a lot of time with deaf people, and they would tell me that. Okay, I'm going to end the class. You guys be good.